What's up you guys, and welcome back to another Reddit reading video. I am Bill Gates, co-chair of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Ask me anything. Through it all, what makes you happy? Looking for ideas. Some recently said when your children are doing well, it really is very special as a parent, and I completely agree. Sometimes following through on commitments to yourself, like doing more exercise, also improves your happiness. What would you still like to achieve that you haven't? The goal of the foundation is that all kids grow up healthy, no matter where they are born. This means getting rid of malaria and many other diseases that affect poor countries. It should be achievable in my lifetime. This makes me optimistic. I'm 18, after realizing that I also see much more impactful consequences of climate change within my lifetime. It both is awesome and sucks. When was the last time you sat in front of a computer and wrote code? I actually do use tabs. It was easy to convert tabs into space and vice versa, so we shouldn't waste too much time on the issue. I haven't written code in a shipping product for a long time, but I do write enough code to understand the new tools like TypeScript and GitHub. It's well known that you're an avid reader. What are a few books that come into your mind when asked to recommend reading materials for anyone that can have a true impact on their life, either professionally or personally? It's awesome to see you here. Thank you. I read a lot of non-fiction. There are so many great books. I do reviews on gatenotes.com. I'm reading Hacking Darwin now, about gene editing getting very popular and what the policy should be to control the usage. I love books that explain things like Smill's Energy and Civilization or all Pinker's books. Factfulness by the Roslings is very readable. A great place to start to get a framework of the progress of humanity. What's a piece of technology that's theoretical now that you wish could make possible immediately? Thanks in advance, and thank you for all the humanitarian efforts. I'm fascinated by how hard it is to teach computers to actually read so they understand the material. An example would be reading a textbook and passing a test. This question of knowledge representation is a fascinating one that Microsoft and lots of others are working on. However, if I had one wish to make a new technology, it would be a solution to malnutrition. Almost half of the kids in poor countries grow up without their body or brain developing fully, so they miss out on most of their potential. Second would be an HIV vaccination. I'm really starting to like Bill Gates like this. Bill Gates really seems like a really smart, really genuine, good person. If you were to give lots and lots of money to one person, I'm kind of glad that it's Bill Gates and not some Putin character. What are your hobbies? Nothing work related. I play tennis and bridge. Tennis is a good exercise, bridge is a great game, but not as popular with young people as it used to be. I read a lot, but I'm not sure that's a hobby. The internet is fascinated by seeing you do normal things, like wait in line for a burger. But what's the most treat yourself rich guy thing that you do? I have a nice house. It includes a trampoline room, which seems kind of over the top, but my kids love using it to work off their excess energy. I'm not sure how guilty I should feel about being in a great house. The other thing is that I sometimes use a private jet. It does help me to do my foundation work, but again, it's a very privileged thing that I have. Well, to be fair, a big house, millions of people have a big house. And I'm sure there are a bunch of people with a trampoline room for their kids too in their $1 million house. That's not very treat yourself rich guy thing. He seems very humble. Maybe his thing he treats himself on is his book collection since he likes books so much. I wonder what his personal library is like. It's probably 1 million books in there. The rarest books no one can ever even lay an eye on. What's your favorite prime number? 2. Solid choice. Do you think being a billionaire has made you a happier person than if you were just a middle class person? Yes, I don't have to think about health costs or college costs. Being free from worry about financial things is a real blessing. Of course, you don't need $1 billion to get to that point. We do need to reduce the cost of growth in areas so they are accessible to everyone. If you could go back in time and give your younger self advice, what would you say? I was overly intense and socially inept. I would try to make myself more self-aware without getting rid of the focus and desire to learn. You get a chance with your kids to help them avoid the mistakes you made. I probably need that advice right now, I'm not gonna lie. Since online courses are on the rise, what is your outlook on future of education? Online is a great thing to complement what teachers do. If a student is highly motivated, then they could do a lot of learning online. The old approach to homework, which was paper-based, can now be replaced by online. However, so far that material hasn't helped reduce dropout rates from high school or college by engaging students in a better way. Our foundation funds a lot of new work in this area, so I am hopeful that it will make a difference. Not to just interject here into the middle of this with a little talking spree, But my biggest thing is, for one, I don't think that there should be maximum homework once a week. Going home should be your home time, not more hours added on to 7 hours a day, 5 days out of the week. Most of your childhood awake time is at school. And if you think 7 hours of cramming and then going to bed like 3 hours after you get home, after spending time with your parents for 2 hours after they get off work, is the proper way to do it, then you are wrong. I think a lot of the courses necessary to graduate high school are unnecessary, especially like advanced math classes. There's a majority of people will not use that. Yes, a small minority might use it once they go to college to learn and use it for their math degree, but after that, there is no use for that. There's no use to cram that information into someone's head when they have all the basics down. They can use a calculator that they have in their pocket forever. You can fill that part of their brain with better information. Like, just take advanced math courses and instead put in learn how to pay your taxes, learn how to pay a bill, learn how to do this and that. Like a life skills class should be one of the mandatory things instead of advanced math, or even like super advanced histories. But things like English class, I think is like, even though English is my least favorite subject, that's pretty necessary. Foreign languages is nice. Okay, well, let me get out of this rant. I'm acting like I'm Bill Gates taking up his spotlight. What do you think the greatest threat to humanity is at this moment? There are some things that aren't likely, but we should worry about. Nuclear bombs and bioterrorism, or a big pandemic. This is the 100th anniversary of the Spanish flu, and if it came back, the amount of travel would make it spread faster than it did last time. Once you get past those threats, the biggest question is global cooperation to avoid climate change and reduce the risk of war. It's disconcerting to see a rise of countries turning inwards and not investing in alliances, which have helped us avoid wars since World War II. Climate change is a real test of how we can work together globally, since it's a complex problem where major changes need to be done well in advance of big harms. Are you happy? Yes, when I was in my 30s, I didn't think people in their 60s were very smart or had much fun. Now I've had a counter revelation. What's the most encouraging bit of progress your foundation has funded to date? Our biggest achievement is working with partners, including rich government aid groups like USAID and DFID, to make sure all children in the world get vaccines. This is a big part of the reason that deaths of children under 5 has dropped from 10 million when we started less than 6 million now. GAVI is the name of the group that was created. All donors to GAVI deserve huge things, mostly from the voters in their countries who gave. That's awesome that he's using his money for good. He could be using, like, there would be people out there that would use his billions of dollars. They would literally just use like 500 million and like build statues of themselves all around the US. They would buy plots of land, just make golden statues of themselves so the world will never forget them, and this man is out here curing diseases. On that note, let's end this video off here. Thank you guys again for watching this AMA. I am Bill Gates, co-chair of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation Ask Me Anything video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to comment. If you guys want me to keep doing AMA, then just tell me. And if you don't like it, then don't hit the dislike. Just tell me in the comments. I hope I see you guys next time, and goodbye, my lovelies.